Good evening, and welcome to Elite Infotainment. We begin with breaking news out of Washington, D.C. President Donald Trump has issued a directive to reopen the infamous Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary, a maximum security prison on an island in San Francisco Bay that has been closed for over 6 decades. The announcement, made via Truth Social on Sunday, May 4, 2025, has sparked intense debate across the nation. We'll dive into the details, explore the history of Alcatraz, its notorious inmates, and the infamous escape that captivated the world. Stay with us. President Trump's directive aims to rebuild and expand Alcatraz to house what he calls America's most ruthless and violent offenders. In a post on Truth Social, Trump stated, "For too long, America has been plagued by vicious, violent, and repeat criminal offenders. I am directing the Bureau of Prisons, together with the Department of Justice, FBI, and Homeland Security, to reopen a substantially enlarged and rebuilt Alcatraz." The move comes amid Trump's ongoing clashes with federal judges over immigration policies and his push for stricter detention measures, including deportations without due process. Alcatraz, often called the Rock, opened as a federal penitentiary in 1934, designed to hold the nation's most dangerous and incorrigible inmates. Located on a 22-acre island 1.25 miles from San Francisco, its isolation, surrounded by frigid waters and strong currents, made it America's most secure prison. Over its 29 years of operation, Alcatraz housed an average of 260 to 275 prisoners, less than 1% of the federal prison population, with a capacity of 336. The prison was known for its harsh conditions, where inmates had only 4 rights: food, clothing, shelter, and medical care. Everything else, from family visits to recreation, was a privilege to be earned. Alcatraz was home to some of America's most notorious criminals. Among them was Al "Scarface" Capone, the infamous Chicago gangster convicted of tax evasion in 1931, who spent 4.5 years at Alcatraz. George "Machine Gun" Kelly, a Prohibition-era bank robber, served 17 years. Robert Stroud, known as the Birdman of Alcatraz, became an expert ornithologist while incarcerated, though he was not allowed to keep birds at Alcatraz. Alvin "Creepy" Karpis, public enemy number 11, spent 26 years there, the longest-serving inmate. Other notable figures included Mickey Cohen, a Los Angeles mobster, and James "Whitey" Bulger, a Boston crime boss. Alcatraz was billed as escape-proof, but that didn't stop inmates from trying. Over its history, 36 men were involved in 14 separate escape attempts. Most were caught, killed, or drowned in the treacherous waters. However, one escape in 1962 remains shrouded in mystery. Frank Morris, along with brothers John and Clarence Anglin, executed a daring plan. Using spoons and a homemade drill made from a vacuum cleaner motor, they chiseled through their cell walls, creating a secret workshop above their cell block. They crafted dummy heads from plaster and human hair to fool guards and built a raft from stolen raincoats. On June 11, 1962, they slipped out through a ventilator shaft and vanished into the night. Despite extensive searches, they were never found, officially presumed drowned. Their story inspired the 1979 film Escape from Alcatraz, starring Clint Eastwood. Alcatraz closed in March 1963 due to its exorbitant costs, nearly 3 times higher than any other federal prison. The island's isolation required all supplies, including water, to be shipped in, and the salty air corroded the aging infrastructure. Estimates for restoration ranged from $3 to $5 million, excluding daily operating costs. After its closure, the island sat largely unused until 1969, when Native American activists occupied it for 19 months, claiming it under the Treaty of Fort Laramie. In 1972, Alcatraz became part of the Golden Gate National Recreation Area, and since 1973, it has been a National Park Service site, drawing 1.2 million tourists annually. President Trump's plan to reopen Alcatraz has drawn sharp criticism. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, whose district includes Alcatraz, called the proposal not a serious one, noting its status as a popular national park. California State Senator Scott Wiener described it as deeply unhinged and an attack on the rule of law. Critics argue that rebuilding the facility would be costly and complex, requiring significant congressional funding and navigating the National Park Service's control of the island. The Bureau of Prisons has stated it will comply with all presidential orders, but offered no details on feasibility. Will Trump be successful in his plan to reopen the infamous prison is yet to be seen, but keep up to date with us at Elite Infotainment. See you next time.